that one right down. This bit here, I just want to make sure that I don't hit the back part of the texture, so I'm just going to angle the model up like that. And that'll prevent me from accidentally painting over that back part of the model here. I could turn on masking, which I was showing you yesterday, but probably not necessary on a model, a piece this large anyway. Just going to bake that down. I just want to throw maybe a little bit more in here. Maybe some of that through here. Right, now I'm going to see what blending modes we have here. Just move that for a minute. Maybe a hard light. I'll come back to that in just a second. I'll throw a new layer on and grab scale that down a bit. Now we'll grab you. Going to pull in a bit closer on the model. Just get it lined up correctly. Put that there. I'm just going to rotate that a little bit. We're on a new layer. I'm going to paint this in. I'm going to go over this a few times because I want this to be quite noticeable. Bake that down. Now I'm not working super close to the model here because this is just like I'm using as a dirt texture. It doesn't need to be super detailed, so I don't need to get in super close to do the painting on the model. If I was doing something, painting in a texture that was more detailed, I'd pull in closer to the model. For what we want to do, it's not necessary. Okay. Bake that down. Bake that down. Just finish off that bit at the end here. Alright, I'll bake it down. I'm just going to come back around. We don't want darken. Maybe a screen on this one. I'll pull it back a little bit. And throw another layer down. This might work well. Just going to pull in on the model a little bit. And scale that down just a tad. Not too much though. Paint in over here. Bake that down. Now we're paying more attention for this on this texture to the dark area as opposed to the white area, so less attention to the white. We're more interested in the black parts of this texture. I might just switch to my pen for a minute. That clicking noise can get annoying of the mouse after a while. Bake that down. And this last little piece here in the end. Just going to bake that down. Move that texture up there out of the way. Swing back around a bit. I'm just going to pull back on that just a touch. Alright, one more layer. I'm just looking for something that I can throw over the top of the model just to give it a bit more of a dirty look. So I'm just going to swing you around like that. I'm working on a new layer. I'm just going to go over the top of the entire piece here. A bit more in some areas than in others. I'm just going to bake that down and move that out of the way and play with the layers a bit to see what we're going to get. So maybe a multiply. Again, I'll switch back to the pen. I may just make our brush a little bigger. Because we're just throwing like a dirty color on top of it, we can use quite a large brush. It'll cover more area more quickly. This nice little piece here in the end. A bit like that. Just a bit more through the middle just here. Alright. I also want to go back to our layer. I just want to throw in another quick layer and work at the bottom piece here. So for that I want you will probably work quite well. Let me move that over to there. And I think I will rotate you around just a bit. And again, I'm more concerned with the dark part of this texture than the light. Again, I'm making sure the model is angled down slightly like that so I don't accidentally paint on an area I don't want to. This piece just here. Alright, bake that down. Now, I'll leave that quite dark at the bottom, I think. Let's just save that. And we're going to export flattened. Export everything flattened. We're in our stairs folder. We're going to call this one Terrace base, right? Terrace base. Terrace base, right? Painted.tga. Just going to go back into 3D Studio Max, back into our material editor. And we're looking for Terrace base, right? Painted, which is that one there. Now I can see that the work we did at the base is being covered up by the this ledge at the bottom. So what I can do is when we go back into Mari, we'll pull that that dark bottom piece up a little higher. Okay, I'm getting there slowly, starting to match up to the piece I've created on the side of the stairs here. Let's swing it around a bit through here. I'll just do a bit more texture work over that in just a second. So we need to go back into Mari and paint up that that dark base a little higher, and I may throw another dirt texture over the centered pieces here. Let's jump back into Mari quickly. And let's go back to our paintbrush. We want to pull this up a bit, I think, so I'm going to choose a different texture for this piece, I think. This one might be better. It's a bit larger, so it'll probably show up more on the model. Paint that up. Just bake that down. I'm working in the same layer we worked on with the texture that we're painting over the top of at the moment. Because we're painting the same type of texture over it, there's really no need to create a new layer. You could if you wanted to, but not necessary. Again, I'm just going over some parts a little darker than others, just adds a bit of variation. And making some just a little higher than the others as well. Again, just adds a bit more interest. All right. Now I wanted to zoom in a little. Before we do that, let's just export that and have a look at it in Max very quickly. Okay. Now we're calling it Terrace base right painted.tga, Terrace base right painted.tga, export. Yes, I want to overwrite. That happens, just reload the texture. It's just a little bug it looks like it's happening in Max. Let's just throw in a little bit of dirt. Oh, where are we? A little bit of dirt along the base here. And that'll blend in more nicely when we texture up this bottom ledge that runs around the outside of the model. We'll blend the two together then. Might just move on to the back part here for the moment. We may come back to this texture tomorrow or next week just to touch it up here and there and to add a bit more interest. But we'll continue on. select that back model. And we'll put a unwrap UVW into map channel 2. We'll move the UVs across. We're going to open the UV editor. Make sure we select all of the UVs. We'll do a flatten mapping. Now we're going to render to texture. You guys should know the drill by now. Existing channel 2. Add the diffuse map. Set our texture size. And our path and file name. What will we call this? We'll call this Terrace base back. .tga 24-bit. Okay, let's render that out. I'm just going to isolate that selection really quickly. No, I'll leave it there. I was going to remove the base, but I'll retexture the base once we've done the sides, and I won't remove it. So, okay, so we rendered that out to texture. Let's just create the new texture shader, the bitmap. Terrace base back. And we'll pipe that into the diffuse color channel. We'll show shaded and realistic. And we'll assign the material to the selection. Alright, now we want to go to our utilities panel and copy over our UV maps from channel 2 into channel 1. Clear out channel 2, and then we want to export a piece. There's an OBJ. We're calling it the Terrace base back. Let me just save that Mari file. And create a new one. I'm calling this Terrace base back. We're going to load up that OBJ file we just exported, which is that one there. And we're creating a new color texture. Hey, Onefinity, can I model Harambe? I'm not sure what Harambe is. So maybe if you explain to me what it is. Let's import into the layer stack. Oh, a gorilla dude. Yeah, possibly. I tend to be more of a Oh, well, that's sad. So, the Cincinnati Zoo. Oh, okay, I know the story. I just wasn't sure of the gorilla's name. I could model the gorilla. I tend to do more hard surface modeling, so I tend to do more environmental work, things that you find outside, as opposed to character 3D modeling. I have done character modeling before. Why would you want a model of the gorilla? Yeah, I do remember the story though. It was very sad. The whole situation was really sad. It was traumatic for the little child and terrible for what happened to the gorilla. Let's turn on flash shading. Zoom in a bit. I'm not so concerned with oh, as a tribute. Cool. I could, but yeah, I prefer to work on environmental stuff like statues and houses and that type of thing. A character artist, a specific character artist, would be better to do that type of model. I could do it, but at the moment I need to finish doing some work on this garden terrace. It's a good idea, though. I mean, yeah, tribute to the gorilla would be very cool. Right. With this, I'm not so concerned with any texture hitting the back edge here because that's not being seen. It's underneath of the tiles on the terrace. So let's just zoom in a little bit. Maybe angle it like that. I'm going to create a new layer and open some textures here. Alright, let's have a look at what we've got. No. No. That's the one we use, so it would probably be best to stick to what we've used previously on the other model. And keep the size around the same as well. So